Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. In this video, we only want to focus on the shorter time frame. We want to take a look at the 30-minute chart and try to understand what this mess is about that's happening here. It definitely looks corrective at the moment, and the price is currently, basically unfolding here within corrective structures, possibly still in a B wave. And I'm going to zoom in a minute. Just briefly before we do that, looking here at the overall structure, it is currently assumed that a third wave topped most likely here on Thursday, and we're now forming an A, B, C structure. That could again form a larger A wave that would result in a larger B wave and then in a larger C wave. It is possible that after the first ABC, the correction is complete. But as I said in my first video today, until I see an impulse to the upside, I assume we go lower. So if I only see corrective rallies, I don't think this correction is complete. It can complete at any time. I mean, as I said, we are in a bullish market. As long as we are in a bullish market, corrections and pullbacks can be extremely shallow. So that's obviously what we need to consider. But we still need to consider also that, for example, a wave 4, and this would be a wave 4 that started to unfold, usually reaches the 38.2 retracement level, and that is at 55K. Now, I have a hard time to believe that Bitcoin will get there, but it is the standard ideal target for a fourth wave. Normally, an A wave reaches the 23.6 fib level, and that's at around 61.5 to 62K. So let's first of all, however, in this video, take a look at the microstructure. Tomorrow in the video, we are going to talk about the daily chart again. I did that in the previous video as well. So feel free to check that out if you are after a little bit more context. So what is happening here? So first of all, the chart is currently most likely in this corrective pattern, in this corrective messy structure there. And I already posted it earlier on Twitter, on the X network, basically an update in between the videos. So I'm not sure if you are following us, feel free to follow us there. You'll find the link in the description. Just make sure you pick the correct account, because there are scammers and fake accounts. But what I highlighted basically was this structure here. And you see it a little bit clearer here maybe on this chart, because we saw the decline into the A wave low as a leading diagonal to the downside in a possible 5-wave move. Then we saw the expected 3-wave rally. I shared with you in the first video I made today that possibly from down here, because we had hit the red support line, a B wave rally could start. So that's always how a correction is made up, right? A wave down, B wave rally, and then a C wave down would ideally follow. Now I shared in that update that the C wave, so obviously the B wave itself is a correction, A, B, C, and that the C wave could be over in the region between 70,731 and 72,807, and it actually reached that first target there, the 100% extension level. But I also shared that it takes a break below 67,590 to indicate that the C wave to the downside has started, so that indeed the larger B wave topped. Let me go back to the Bitcoin chart. Now, as you can see, it never broke that level. There's no sustained break below that level. And I posted it after that actually for gold members on our Telegram and Discord channels, that if an extended B wave is starting, and that's what Bitcoin loves to do, okay, then it should start from this region. So I posted it down there, and it seems to be what's going on, because yes, after the A wave bottomed earlier today, yep, a rally happened, a corrective rally, absolutely, and that could be wave B, but the B wave wasn't very aggressive. And I think there's a good potential for an aggressive B wave in a bullish market. Okay, shared that also in one of the updates I posted today, that I see high, at least decent probability that the B wave will be aggressive and might even overshoot, because we're in a bullish market. And therefore I added the yellow count, and it turned basically where it needed to. And this is now an extended ABC. That's what I'm tracking. Now, that doesn't really have a lot of predictive value, but we know that obviously in corrections, an ABC structure can always turn into a larger ABC. And I sort of found it a bit too easy maybe to just break down directly. So we'll see what happens. I mean, all we can do in corrections is just to track the waves. The microstructures, as I said, they are not so important. I would not try to trade the microstructures here in this correction. What is important is to understand what is the relevant support level. And here on this chart here, micro support, still the red line at 66,530 is holding at the moment. No sustained break below that. And then obviously the larger yellow support zone. Okay, so that's really important, because as long as we're holding the yellow box, and we don't even need to enter it, but as long as we're holding above it, the overall assumption for a pretty much direct move to new all-time highs is still valid. Now, that still could mean that we're entering a, I don't know, several week-long correction, absolutely. But the support areas are defined. So as long as we're above it, fine, we should go higher eventually. Yeah? But we have to give the price the space to possibly use that yellow box if it needs to. So at the moment, I think we are working on an extended B wave, but it would only be confirmed with a break above the high that was formed here at 70,584. Where would the target be? So if we now form an extended B wave, target range for wave C of B is here between 72,600 and now 75,950. Okay, whereas the 72,600 level is an ideal target because that's the 100% extension level. And then this is the area in which we can be watching for a reversal. But again, to confirm that yellow count, therefore I only leave it with a question mark, I need to see a break above that last swing high at 70,580. And if we see a sustained break below the last swing low, which is here at 67,000, basically 500, that would suggest that this C wave to the downside is already unfolding. So overall corrective pattern, I mean, all that really counts is, okay, does an impulse to the upside show before we break below the larger support zone? And we're still far away from that. So at the moment, I assume the correction is still unfolding. Yep, we can get overshooting B waves. They might even overshoot the previous high. Absolutely. That's something that cannot really be predicted. But that's something I'm watching, and I will let you know if we see the first impulse that would suggest that we are already more aggressively bullish than this wave count currently suggests. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.